Hello, folks. As promised, I've launched the podcast. It'll be focused on personal anecdotes, stories, and personal dilemmas. Consent has been recorded for each individual presented. Now, disclaimer, this is for entertainment and personal interest purposes only. But, I mean, what's knowledge without a little controversy, right? Please enjoy. Alright. Okay, let's start.
No, we're not starting. No, we have to.
I can only,
What the hell? Hi guys, my name is Mais and I'm from Palestine, Lebanon. I'm really glad to be a part of this interview because I think this is also the first one in the entire kind of series. So I'm really excited. The reason why I chose to be in this kind of interview because Lewis is such a dear friend for me. You know, he asked me and he was like, "Oh, do you want to be like a part of my podcast?" And I was like, "Damn, yeah, like." You know what I mean? Like, it's such a nice experience because we're both writers and we're both gonna get this thing in a twisted manner, more perspectives, because we're both writers. Also, I like writing, I like eating, I like sleeping, and I don't like studying, and I like music. So yeah, it would be nice to meet you. And if you guys want more episodes with Lewis, write it down in the comments.
Yeah, hell yeah.
You know, I said in your YouTube video, I want to start a podcast.
Podcast, interview, same thing. We're talking about interesting things. Come.
How much will I be paid?
How much will you be paid? You'll be paid. You've already been paid. Yes, consent can be withdrawn at any time. That's a beautiful signature, my lady. Beautiful signature.
That's not you, Lewis. Audience, this is not him. If you see him in real life, he's different.
You look stunning, absolutely
That's
spectacular.
called cheating.
What? My first question, alright? What's more important in fiction, right? In a story? Escapism or reflection? So what this means is basically in a story, right? What are stories for? Are they for escaping from reality, right? A means to like experience something better, to experience something that you can like, you know, take mental refuge in? Or does it serve to be like, let's say, political commentary or like a reflection of society? So which one should stories be? In your opinion, in your humble opinion.
Do people know we do IB?
Yes. By the way, we're an IB school.
Me and Lewis are in the same class of HL English. And all the books we have read so far, what do they reflect? Society. Now, coming back to the question, what's more important? Society, reflection, or escapism? Is that the word?
That's right, escapism.
Escapism. For me, from my humble opinion, I think I don't want to reflect. I don't care about reflecting on my own society. I live in it, and living in it is enough for me to actually see what's happening. What's happening in books mainly, or they reflect on the evil political power imbalance. I know that. I'm seeing it already. I read the news every day. Why would I also read a book that would make me even more depressed from the society I live in every single day? So that's why if I were to choose a book to read, I would choose an escapism book. I want to escape reality so bad because I see it every day here. Why would I read something that would make me even realize what's happening more? I already realize what's happening full on. So I would choose escapism because I think it's really important for you to actually kind of sway a bit, like kind of like read something that would make you kind of feel calmer.
Would you say that, wait, what was my question again? Okay, would you say that when you read, the stuff you read serves as a recharge in your ideals? Because it's an escape, right? It's an escape. So it's an escape from the gritty, dreadful reality into the beautiful world of fantasy. Now, would you say that beautiful world is what fuels your ambitions for an ideal world? Or do you just read for fun?
I usually read sad books. I never read any genre except for the sad, heart-wrenching books that will make you depressed and traumatized for a week or two. For me, it's really important for me that a book leaves something in me. I want to take something from a book. Yes, I want to recharge, but not in a happy way. I want to recharge to remind myself that life for me is easier than many others, even though it's not. So, I read. I read because I want to feel something. I feel nothing inside. So I read, to recharge, to feel something, to kind of gain back control of my own emotions. Yeah.
The second question is, how do you feel about stories where the protagonist, where the main character is not the chosen one, but just a ordinary person?
I don't like that.
You don't like that?
Not at all. So basically for me, when someone is the chosen person, the main character, I like it. When you read something, you have imagination, right? So when you imagine yourself in the place of the main character, you'd be like, hey, yeah, I'm the main person, I'm the chosen one. But if it was an ordinary person, I feel like, okay, it's more kind of realistic, but I'm not reading for realistic stuff again. I'm reading for me to actually feel something. If someone is the main character and the chosen one, they'd be facing a lot of challenges. They'd be facing shit, sabotage, manipulation, and they'd have such big personal trauma from the past that would make them even more special. So that's when I think an ordinary person is just like me and you.
No, I'm not an ordinary person.
You are. So it's not fun reading something from an ordinary person, because I see ordinary people all the time, every day, every single my life. I live with one. That's why the chosen person kind of gives you a spark back to actually, we could all be special. I could be waking up tomorrow and I could be the chosen one by God.
How would you know?
You have trust.
So you have faith in yourself. Is that it?
In God.
In God. So what would you do if, same question, right? What would you do if, say, one day you wake up and suddenly find out that your roommate is actually the chosen one, right? Everywhere you look, you see people looking at her, right? Oh my God. She's gonna save the world. She's gonna revert global warming, right? What would you do in that case?
So basically, do you guys know Mitski? So there's a song called Watching Machine Heart. So there is this favorite phrase of mine, why not me? I'm not usually a jealous person, but think about it again, jealousy is something very normal and all humans can feel jealous from any single thing. And it's normal, it's healthy to be jealous. When it's not healthy is you going to ruin someone's life because you feel jealous of them. Of course, when I see my roommate getting to be the chosen person, I'd be like, fuck, why not me? Why not me? So I'm gonna sing this song for you guys. Wo do mi ti. Why not me? Anyway, so it says why not me. So I'm gonna be thinking, why not me? I've always been working, helping people. I'd have this existential crisis. And I'd be like, I've always done what I'm supposed to do. What's happened? So I'm gonna feel jealous, but then thinking about it, twisted to the other side as an optimistic person. I was her roommate. I was the one that helped her to be the chosen one. Deep inside, I've been her number one supporter. I've seen her at her worst. I can threaten her with that. So yeah, that's my answer to that. I feel so jealous, but not jealous enough to ruin her life. Just jealous like, oh, my cookie. Yep.
So jealous enough to threaten her.
No, that's ruining her life. Jealous enough to just tell her, I know you. Yeah.
I see. Let's say this isn't a question on there, but would you rather live in fame, so be super popular, everywhere you go, paparazzi follows, a single pose, like hocha, or like brushing. No, wait, you can't really brush your hair back.
Wait,
like,
I can.
Okay. Yeah, like that. Would go on the front news.
Yeah. Or
Super popular. Or would you rather live in peace and silent?
that's a stupid question that everyone asks every day, and I'm tired of hearing it. But personally, everything has two sides. Even peace has evil in it, and even evil has peace in it. So I think this is the answer that everyone says. Fame comes with disadvantages, but really good advantages too. And peace comes with advantages, but disadvantages. Personally, I hate being alone. The sound of my heart beats, I'll not listen to it alone. You have to listen to it with me, because I hate being sitting alone. I don't even have privacy. I'd be coming to you 3 a.m. oversharing my entire life history. While that's actually, maybe I'll appreciate my privacy even more when I'm famous. But thinking about it, how scandals go around all the time, rumors happen all the time. Someone spread a rumor about me in the school, but that's not even the case anymore. I think I would rather be famous, not because I want to be the famous kind of magazine news. I'm in that for the money. You have to put your brain straight to the goal. Don't go there or that. Left or right? No, you have to be straight to the goal. If your goal is to be famous, go for it, but don't just decide to be famous. Don't aim for just being famous. You should aim for going to the space, being rich. So I would rather be famous but rich, or peaceful but rich. Rich is the not variable in the equation, it's the constant.
Wealth is equal to controlled variable. I like that. Also, I really appreciate this very poetic line you said. The sound of my heartbeat. I can't listen to it alone. I might just use it for the thumbnail. That is very poetic, very literary.
I know, I'm a writer.
That's right. That's why I chose you first. Now, moving on. What comes to mind when you hear the term sci-fi psychological drama? Give me your first impressions. What does it remind you of?
Superpowers.
Superpowers. Cha-chow. What kind of superpowers? Give me a reference.
So I was reading this comic.
Mm-hmm.
And when I listened to sci-fi, this girl is the chosen one. She can control fire. But do you know what else she can control? The sun, because the sun is...
The sun?
But that's her being the chosen one. Okay, she can control the sun, but she cannot technically. Why? Because she has a core deep inside her here.
So her heart.
No, her core of power.
Is she human?
So her aura. Yeah,
her aura. Her aura.
Aura core kind of thing. So if she controls even slightly more than she's able to, so she controls fire, maybe she can make a fire, but if she does more than that, technically, let's say that hypothetically the sun, she will explode. That's why I tell you, what was the question? sci-fi, superpowers, and chosen one. Because sci-fi does not come without chosen one or superpowers. Yeah, guys, you're getting me wrong.
Okay.
What was my opinion again?
I don't know. It's your opinion. You can change your opinions anytime.
Yeah, I am a big reader. I read 100,000 books because reading heals something inside me. When I read, I'm open to all new words. I'm even the chosen one. So yeah, that's why I say I love reading. All types of reading.
All types of reading.
Especially not book readings, just comic readings.
Notebook/comic readings. Beautiful. Let's say society collapsed, right? Something big happened, right? And the world collapsed. Plunged into anarchy. Not even anarchy, it's just a big apocalypse, right? People, they get wiped out, cities fall, right? Big collapse. If you had to rebuild society after this collapse, what would be your first priority? what would you focus on first? Let's say you finally get like a band of people, right? Going, right? And you're trying to rebuild society. What would be the first thing you focus on?
I don't like this question. This is such a global politics question. So I'd rather live in Asia. And you know where exactly? In Japan.
In Japan? Why? Why Japan?
You know, Japan is very, very technological.
China is also technological.
Yeah, I wanted to say China, but Japan sounds fancier. So I bet their buildings is not even made of rocks. It's made out of metal.
Whoa, okay.
And the metal that does not rust. So we all just go into Japan and you don't have to rebuild anything. We just have to kind of learn how to walk, because if you said that humans vanished for 50 years, then we forgot how to walk. And I'd be the chosen one, because I know how to talk and walk and write and read. So I'd be the one that's leading them. I'd be a president of Japan. So yeah.
President.
I would start with teaching them how to love each other.
Ooh, can you explain why?
Okay, I'm gonna comment on something you said. I think human instinct is real. Like, humans are born with it. If someone is unkind, they're unkind by nature. You know what I mean?
That's
So, like,
that's what I said?
no,
Oh, okay.
unkind. You know, I think love is the bare minimum, you know? Love is what can solve this entire conflict in the entire world. So I think if I loved you and you loved me, then we're friends. And friends are a lifelong time friends. Thinking about it for the distant future, there will be no bad guys. And bad guys are not necessarily bad. Bad guys are just stories, villains with a backstory. You just have to listen to them. Anyways, moving on.
Have you ever felt like your efforts weren't appreciated, even when done for someone else?
That's a cliche question. Like, that's a question you would ask someone when you're like trying to make them look like the victim. What is this question?
No, it's not.
Yes, my efforts has always been declined by people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm so selfless. I'm so selfless to the degree I could give you like anything. You can't ask for anything. I could give you my brother or my sister. If you wanted to adopt any human, I could give you them. I'm so selfish to the degree I was never I've never thought about the food I'm gonna eat, because I've always put a chance someone will come and knock at my door and be like, do you have any extra food? And I'll be like, of course, I've been saving this for you since morning. I'm so selfish to the degree someone came and asked me how was their parents doing, and I was like, they're good. Now you're gonna ask me, how do I know their parents? I have monitors of every human, like every person I know, every friend, I know their families, and I know I'm always in contact with their families, because what if something happens to their families when they're not aware? So all people could come to me and ask me about their families, and be like, yeah, they're good, they're just missing you. I'm so selfish to the degree I've never asked for anything. I've always ignored my needs just for people to get something that I want, just for people to get something that I already have. So that's why I say, yes, my efforts has always been used. No one says thank you, and I'm not asking for a thank you. I'm not asking for appreciation, but it's nice to get some validation, appreciation sometimes.
Some acknowledgement?
Yeah, that word.
Why do you keep doing it though? If you know you're not gonna be acknowledged.
Because I don't ask for acknowledgements. It's nice.
But you just did.
No, it's nice to be acknowledged, but it's not my requirement for helping people. I think the word is too small. I need to find some goal in my life. I feel like my life is too black and white, and I need to give it some color. And when I help people, I feel like one point of color is added to that painting, my life painting. Sometimes I need to feel something, as I said before. I need to feel like I'm actually a good person, because I don't feel like a good person most of the times. I don't feel like I'm doing enough in my life for people to love me. And I think my token of love for people and for them to actually love me, I need to kind of be like that selfless person that's always there for your service. So yeah, that's my answer to that.
Do you think you owe anyone anything?
Of course, all people owe people other stuff. I owe people money because I keep forgetting to return it. That's the only sin I have ever done. God forgive me.
Mashallah.
Mashallah, mashallah.
What does burnout feel like?
Burnout, you ask? I've been burnt out for 2 years. And as you guys have been noticing in my past answers, I search for a reason to feel. It's so hard when you actually feel so freaking sad that your chest starts kind of tearing apart and no tear could go out of your eyes. That's a burnout. When you're so happy, but only a small smile could get out of you, or even no happiness kind of is shown on your face. That's what a burnout is. When you experience all kind of stuff, when you search for a reason to feel, but nothing comes out. Because deep inside, you've buried it all down. A burnout. A burnout, you're burnt out. You're like ashes in a fire. You're like in a forest fire. You're the fire. And you're the one that's making the fire. It's all because of you, but you cannot control it. That's what a burnout is. It feels like fucking hell. It feels like you're lost in a dark pit. It feels like you're searching for something that's never been invented before. It feels like you've been purposeless. Your life is just an imagery going through someone's head. It's not even your life anymore. It's just like you're passing by every day just hoping to God something interesting will kind of light up something inside of you. That's what a burnout is, guys.
I see. And how do you get out of a burnout?
You never get out.
You never get out of a burnout.
And no one can pull you out of a burnout. Only when life actually starts to act good. Maybe when you actually find a purpose.
Okay.
That's why I keep helping people. I'm searching for a purpose. Sometimes I go and I do very crazy things that I've never done before. I get out of my comfort zone. I go to mountains, I go on hikes. You know, sometimes I do crazy stuff. I go and jump in a moat or something. I need to feel like I'm gaining control back on my body. You know? You can say touch grass. Yeah, I go and touch grass because my body's telling me, no, don't do it. But I'm not gonna listen to my body. I'm not gonna listen to my heart. I'm not gonna listen to anything inside of me. And I'm gonna go do anything that could help me feel like a human again. Because a human without emotions is not a human anymore. It just feels like you're anything but a human. You're just a statue. It's really sad and it's really annoying.
Would you follow someone who promises a new world, even if it means losing the old one?
No.
No. Next question. If you're the only survivor of a disaster, do you owe something to the families of the ones who didn't make it?
No.
No. Next question. Would you want to survive a tragedy if it means carrying the guilt forever?
No. Even without guilt, I don't want to survive a tragedy. But I don't think I would be the one to be like the survivor, the chosen one, in a tragedy. Because it's not even about guilt anymore. I don't think it's anyone's responsibility to hold the guilt of the past people who have died in a tragedy. But I think some people don't want to live enough for actually to survive a tragedy, having to rebuild everything from -0. I think that's too much work. It's not even about just being guilty, feeling guilty, or holding stuff from ancestors. It's just about, are you actually ready to work for like 100 years, which you're not gonna survive 100 years, but like, would you want to kind of rebuild everything from -0? It's not even about surviving anymore. I think it's about the initiative, the feeling, the will. Are you willing to? Are you willing to kind of actually start? Are you willing to actually, like, as a person, are you willing to also like carry the guilt, even though it's not your responsibility? You don't choose to live or not.
Last question. Alright, get ready for this. Yeah. How much do we owe our family when they depend on us but give nothing back?
I live by the saying that you don't owe anyone anything. And I know our families have done.
But you just answered that you owe people money. A lot of money. That's what you literally just
Guys,
answered.
don't take my word to the heart. If you're owing people money, you have to give it back. It's natural. But you cannot owe people favor. No, you cannot owe people. Yeah, you cannot owe people. Yeah. Favor is not something that you owe. It's something that you initiate, you give. You cannot owe people success. You cannot.
But when you give someone a favor, then they'll owe you a favor.
Yeah, but you don't owe them in literal, like, you have to return the favor anytime. You're just kind enough to actually return the favor. You know what I mean?
So if they need to return something, that means they owe you something. So people do owe people
Returning
things.
is not equal to owing.
No?
Returning is
Let's say you borrow me your pencil. If I don't return it, do I owe you that pencil?
no.
No? So you'll just be
It's just
giving.
a pencil.
So you're okay. What about your computer then? Your laptop?
That's what I'm saying. Owing is different from returning. Returning is obligated.
Obligatory. Obligatory.
You literally said it wrong. Owing is just owing, you know, like, okay, you return it, but it's not like you have to return it. You know what I'm saying? Is, as I was saying, you don't owe anyone anything. You don't owe people success because they raised you. You don't owe people love because they loved you. You cannot owe something. It's not in your control. It's out of your control. You cannot possibly owe your parents you being a doctor graduate in like PhD.
Yeah.
Just because they raised you. I know the families do a lot, they sacrifice a lot and stuff, but you cannot possibly keep holding that expectation of your parents, owing them success, owing them everything enough. I know it's technically, you better do that and stuff, but in the end of the day, it's your life, you know? They raised you because they wanted to have a kid. It's not the opposite way. They don't have a kid because they want to raise it.
I see. Okay.
So what I'm saying is, it's nice to return the favor, but you don't owe them anything, because in the end of the day, they chose to have a kid. They chose to have you.
Ah, I see.
You know what I mean? If they're not able to actually raise you and give you a good life, and then I think it's important for people to not have babies. Like, super honest.
Okay, I see. Well, that would conclude this very fateful interview. Do you have any questions for me?
Guys, I have a YouTube channel. You have to follow it. Wait, no, I lost the password. Never mind. Follow my Instagram, guys. No, don't follow my Instagram. I have my privacy.
Good stuff, good stuff. All right. I would shake your hand, but I can't really shake your hand, so I'll just phantom shake it. Check this out. Check this out. I got it on camera. I got it on camera.
I can do the same.
Do it.